Good morning. Welcome to the editing vlog. I made a few changes to my setup, so I'll just show you what it is. I also got myself an iced coffee this morning. I only just woke up like an hour ago, went straight down and grabbed a coffee, and I'm just gonna be pretty much locked in on the PC editing all day. But these are the changes. So I actually got my Canon set up at the top here. I forgot I even had this. This is the Canon that I used to shoot all my videos with. So it's a Canon 90D, and it was just sitting in a drawer. And there was a lot of friction between me vlogging and me filming videos on the PC, because every time I did it, I had to take the lens off my camera, screw it in place, plug it in, put a new lens on, and then make sure it's working in OBS and like do all this shit. And then if I wanted to vlog, I'd have to take it off, and then it's just like, I'm trying to reduce that friction. So I had that camera just sitting in a drawer, and I was actually gonna sell it when I found it, but I was like, that could be my webcam. So that's gonna be my webcam for videos. I also got this Elgato key light set up as well, because I need a bit more lighting in here when I film videos. And I also flipped my mic upside down, so it's now not blocking as much as the camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and boot up OBS and see how it looks. This is the setup, bro. This is what we're working with. And this means I can literally just boot up OBS, turn on the camera and start recording. This is what I used to do, bro. It's almost nostalgic. This is pretty much a continuation of last week's video. So last week I did like the sound design for the intro. This time it's just gonna be all the visuals. And this is what I was working on last night. So I did this little like slow zoom into here, and then it transitions into this shot here where it's like kind of on an angle. And yeah, this is just a small section of the intro. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, is this whole blank intro section here. And I'm going to do it all in After Effects. I'm going to bring you guys through the process, so enjoy. So this is what I've got done so far today. I really wanted it to be black, white, because it adds to each impact, and it's like contrast. It goes from a black screen to white to black to white to black, and it's like boom, 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 boom. It really helps sell the effect. And as well as I kept the follower count in the middle of the screen, because that's just simple match cutting. Your eyes are already looking there. So if I cut from one scene to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, it's really satisfying. Like our eyes are already dead in the center. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, I have this color correction layer, which is giving it the scan lines around the outside and like the nice little like RGB split, because when I turn it off, it just looks like a plain screenshot. And as soon as I turn it on, it's almost like Netflix documentary style, like investigative, like boom, 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 you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna let this render, and then I'll show you what it looks like so far. I had over 2 million followers, hundreds of videos. I like that. Millions of views, yet I stopped here. So what happened behind the scenes that made this my last video? All right, and why did... So you guys can kind of see that I went from just sound design and ideas to now that I'm actually putting in the visuals. For 2 million followers. You can sort of see the vision. I had these ideas when I was creating the sound design, and now that I'm actually getting the visuals in, you're probably starting to go, oh, okay, this is all making sense now. So yeah, that only took me about like 45 minutes to do this like little zoom thing with the depth of field. Bro, it looks sick. It looks sick. And it's also 12 frames per second. I'm not sure if many of you guys are editors, but if I go to my comp settings, we're running at 12 FPS. So that's why it looks that good. If I was running this at even 24, 30 or 60, it wouldn't look this good. It's the low frame rate that really sells these effects, and that jitteriness just gives it that like stop motion sort of look. All right, but that's enough editing for this morning. I'm gonna go have breakfast. Yeah. All right, so I'm back from the gym, and I'm gonna actually bring you guys through this next part of the edit. So I'm just gonna pull up After Effects, and basically I just have this idea where, because I've done the sound design already, it's like really fast ticking sound. Hundreds of videos. The reason why I implemented that into the sound design is because I had this idea where like the numbers count up. When I say hundreds of videos, I want like the number of my videos on my channel to like really fast like tick up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go straight onto my YouTube channel, and I'm actually gonna bring you through the process of like how I create this visual. So it all starts off with just a screenshot. So I'm actually going to increase the size of the web page right now because I want the text to be as large as possible, because when I zoom in really close, you start to lose a lot of quality when the text is small. So I'm going to try and get this text as big as possible, probably 200% there. That looks pretty good now. Let's click more and see if this is increased. This has as well. So I'm just going to screenshot this and I'm going to save image. And this is pretty much how everything starts out. It's just a plain screenshot. There's nothing special going on at the moment. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start from scratch. So I'm going to right click, new camera, and to create all these animations I use a 2-node camera, and I'm going to make this image a 3D layer. So I'm going to click the 3D icon, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the camera settings and I'm going to grab the point of interest, which is the first node, and I'm going to focus it on the videos. And I want that point of interest, that anchor point, which is under my webcam here, on probably the number, so right in the middle of 410 videos. And you can see as I zoom in, the anchor point is staying locked in on the videos. So now I'm going to move the Y position and it's going to stay locked in exactly where I want it. Somewhere around about here, I think. Get the Z position close. I'm also going to change the zoom and get that really, really close there. I also want it to sort of get lower. So as the camera comes in, I want it to push in, but also like, because the number's counting up, I want the camera to be lower, as if like, you know, we're looking up at all these videos. Do you know what I mean? Just that sort of feeling. Whereas if I were to put the camera above, it's like we're looking down on the videos. Do you know what I mean? We want to be looking up at how many videos are sort of being created. I don't know anything about like directing, but I just know that it feels better when the camera's lower, pointing up. It has a more heroic sort of look rather than looking down. And then I'm just going to play around with this until I really like it, because I kind of want the camera to just punch in and it's sort of like moving as it's looking up at it. So I'm going to try and achieve the look that I sort of have in my mind here.
Million followers, hundreds of videos.
Okay, we're getting somewhere, bro. This is sick.
Hundreds of videos.
Okay, so that's cool. I might even add like a twitch. So as the number's counting up, the camera's like sort of shaking as if like, oh, bro, I'm excited. This shit, I love this shit. All right, so I like how animation looks now. Very bare bones, right? We've just put the image in and we've animated the 3D camera. So now I'm just gonna copy and paste the color correction over here and see if it works for this, because it looks pretty cool there. And I just wanna make sure that it looks good under color correction, and it does, it looks awesome. I might actually do the depth of field on the camera next. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to camera options, and this is where this second preview comes into play. So once again, I'm gonna press C and we're going to move around, maybe zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to turn depth of field on, and you can see everything's out of focus. I'm also going to change it to hexagon because hexagon just looks better. And now you can see as soon as I move this focus distance, right, you can see on the left here, that rectangle is actually coming forward. That's where the camera is focusing. And sometimes you need to drop your blur level. At the moment it's on 250%. So if I'm just gonna drop that down to 100%. And now I'm gonna press C, and I've pretty much nailed that focus distance almost perfectly on the 410 videos there. I'm probably gonna make the blur level 120%, and I'm just gonna find something to where I can keep the word 410 videos in focus, and then everything else sort of falls out of focus. And I almost forgot to add motion blur onto the layer. So this layer here, as soon as I add motion blur, you can see, bang, we've just created motion in the camera. That's so important. I almost forgot about it. I was like, what is this missing? So it zooms in here, and like I said, I wanted to keep that center of focus with all these animations here. So it's, your eyes are staying in the center, in the center, in the center, and then it goes bang in the center. So your eyes never move. It feels really satisfying for anyone that's watching it. And I'm going to render this out and see how it looks.
2 million followers, hundreds of videos.
Yeah, okay. So I sort of just fucking nailed it. Like, it looks amazing. So now all I need to do is animate this number. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to pre-compose this, and I'm going to leave all attributes. So that's going to leave the image as a 3D layer in this composition. And I'm going to be able to go into this composition here, which is just the raw image. And I'm going to be able to edit whatever I want on here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my text tool, and I'm going to try and find a font that looks similar to this. Now this is the replacement. Like it's honestly perfect. So now all I gotta do is get that number counting upwards. I'm just gonna paste what ChatGPT told me to paste in. Bang. It just works perfectly. Bro, just use ChatGPT, you know what I'm saying? God damn, what the hell? I wonder if that looks good. Let's have a look.
I had over 2 million followers, hundreds of videos, millions
I don't really like the word.
hundreds of videos.
Alright, so messing around with this for 20 minutes, I finally found something that I like. So pretty much I just duplicated the counting numbers layer and I added a shake, which is shaking the blurred numbers in the background, and I also added the directional blur. So that directional blur is giving it that sort of like streamlined blur to sell the effect of like the numbers are like coming down, and this is the best that it's gonna look. So let's see what this looks like in the main comp.
I had over 2 million followers, hundreds of videos.
Alright, and to finish it off, I just added this mask here that is just blurring out the parts that are blurred naturally. You can see when I turn it off and on, it just blurs those edges just to match the rest of the outside blur. That's how I do one scene. What did that take me? Probably, I've been recording for exactly an hour. So that took me exactly an hour to take something that was just an image that I screenshotted off YouTube and turn it into something animated with a camera, depth of field, a little number animation, and yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that little breakdown. Something that I haven't said yet is that this entire project and all the visuals that I'm making for it is going to be a product on my website. So you're actually going to get access to this entire project file, as well as tutorials, in-depth breakdowns of me just going over how I created everything. So this is just like a small glimpse that I'm posting on my second channel, because I love making this stuff, but more than I love making it, I love teaching it. I'll talk more about, you know, the product that's coming with this video and everything, but it's still like at least a month away because I still got to make the video and then I got to do all the other stuff. So I'm just excited, man. I'm really enjoying editing, and I hope you guys are enjoying these videos.
We're cool for the summer.